I wrote an article and I was encouraged by the readers to also make it into a video. So that's what I'm doing right now. You'll find several videos on this channel that defends early dating and reliability of the gospel accounts. Like for example this one, which is only 2 minutes long, linked in the description box below. In this video, I'm going to present another argument and interesting detail. Keywords: the arrest of Jesus in Gethsemane and Peter swinging his sword.
Watch till the end.
At Jesus' arrest, when Peter drew a sword in self-defense and hit Malchus's right ear, the servant of the high priest, it often escapes us just how big trouble Peter was in for that. Like, swinging your sword like that on someone's head and neck area, it's a blow for the kill. And Peter was at very high risk of being stoned to death for this act. And we see Jews still stoning people as a capital punishment, even if they were officially not allowed by the Romans. There are many examples both from inside and outside the Bible from that period. Jesus was attempted stoned, Paul was stoned but miraculously survived, and Stephen the martyr was actually stoned to death by the Jews. So yeah, Peter was in big trouble for the aftermath, technically, if he was brought to trial as a council for this attack on the servant of the high priest himself. But Jesus, healing Malchus's ear and putting it back on, he removed all evidences of any such claim to be used against Peter. So when Peter was preaching Jesus' resurrection and the gospel a few days later in public, they had no evidences of what he earlier did in Gethsemane. They could not use this extremely severe accusation against him. You think Jesus only saved Peter's life when he was called by the Lord to walk on water, but then started doubting and sinking? Nope. Jesus also saved Peter's life in Gethsemane. And what an important role he played until he was executed in Rome, preaching the gospel until it had exploded out of Jerusalem and across the Roman Empire. And here's the apologetics part, and just one of many arguments I have previously given for early gospel dating and reliability here on this channel. In the 3 synoptic gospel accounts, Matthew, Mark and Luke, it does not say it was Peter who cut the ear of the high priest's servant. They just all write it was one of the men with Jesus. But John did write it was Peter in his gospel account, which you can see in John chapter 18 verse 10. This could be a piece of evidence that all the 3 synoptic gospel accounts were written before Peter's death in what most sources say was 64 AD in Rome. Analyzing the gospel accounts, I find it a bit peculiar. Peter is mentioned by name 191 times in the gospel accounts, in all kinds of events and conversations. But is consistently left out of the 3 gospel accounts, Matthew, Mark and Luke, when it comes to the story in Gethsemane and Jesus' arrest. But by the time John wrote his later gospel account, mainly to refute agnostics, sometime after the synoptic gospels were written, well, by then Peter had been executed, and that's why John includes his name in his account. When it comes to early dating and reliability of the gospel accounts, it's a cumulative case, not just one big super piece of evidence. There are many smaller ones, like this argument I used here. From an evidentialist point of view, when using the many tools and ways to analyze the text, the puzzle pieces just seem to fall in the right place, again and again.